Hello, everybody. I'm Meso,
And I'm LJ.
and streaming to you from a golden beach, this is Knack and Jay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of topic postponement. Because we happen to be in an era of the Bionicle community where things keep happening, and we have to keep talking about them.
Which is really weird. Like, I didn't think that in 2020 we would still get new news.
Yeah, it's usually like scraping the bottom of the barrel,
Right.
if I'm gonna be real.
10 years, man. 10-year anniversary.
Yeah?
Yeah, this news is so crazy that we have not only one guest, Var, who's been here before, hello, but also another guest, Kini, woot 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 woot, who a lot of you may not know.
I like how Kini was supposed to be here, and then I just kind of showed up.
Yeah, man. Quit stealing my spotlight. You
I'm the
always
quest
do
from Mata
this.
Nui
No.
of the Bionicle game.
No. Oh,
Yeah,
my
this is a pretty jam-packed topic. So we were like, "Hey, Kini, you want to be on?" And then we were like, "Hey, Var, you want to be on?" And they're like, "All right, fine." So they're here. This is kind of wild, you know. Anybody who hasn't been living under a rock kind of knows what we're going to talk about. Before we jump right into it, let's get some plugs up in here. Let's get some advertisements and
All right.
disclaimers.
Fair enough. That works. So, as a disclaimer, everything you're about to hear is my personal... Oh, wait, sorry. Wrong one. Didn't mean that.
Wrong disclaimer.
Ah. All right, so in case this video gets copied, make sure you head on over to our website, board.ttvchannel.com, TTV message boards, where you can join in on the conversation, have a good time, just read our rules, be above the age of 13, and you're all set. Bunch of good stuff happening over there. We're actually currently ramping up for the first of many canonization contests that are going to be starting shortly, starting on June 1st. They're going to be contests to decide the appearance of characters we have seen but have never seen, like Helrix, Tuyet, Artaka, and more. So head on over there. It's a good time. Then, if you want to join our Discord server and our Minecraft server, head on over to Patreon at patreon.com/thettvchannel. As low as $1 a month, and you can join in on all of the fun, being included on the podcasts themselves, and getting to enjoy being on the island of Mata Nui, and, as soon as we get a trailer, more people are going to find out about this, the island of Voyanui, with many more to come. And then finally, head on over to Twitter at the TTV channel, at Mesonak, and at the LJ Johnson, JOHNSEN.
All right.
We're all good.
Thank you very
That's a lot
much.
of disclaimers you guys
It
got. I was
really-
gonna make a price of a pencil joke, but you just
It's
Nope.
a lot.
The price
Everybody-
of a pack of pencils.
Donate to the Patreon to help us feed my family.
Literally.
Honestly,
that's-
myself.
Where's Purple? Is Purple here? Can
No,
we get
no,
a
no,
Purple
she's not
cameo?
allowed to be here, Meso.
The joke actually have a family. Stop mentioning purple.
There she is in the background.
Yeah, there she is coming through.
All right. So, you know, the Bionicle community has kind of been thrust into the mainstream recently over the last few days, which is always weird when that happens.
It's-
It was weird when Bionicle became like the meme of the month, and it's kind of weird this time too, because Bionicle is being featured on like dozens of mainstream gaming sites across multiple different like nations and languages, and people are talking about Bionicle when they haven't in a while, and I dare say it's gotten even more press than when G2 was a thing.
I would argue.
More people are talking about it right now. So, without further ado, it's about the Quest for Mata Nui game.
Gosh, you're lagging like crazy.
Robonac.
How is
Am
it?
I?
The four of us are here for the first time in like, I don't know, 8 years, and we're still encountering Meso lagging.
It's destiny.
Everybody's lying for me right now, so.
Discord.
It's destiny.
Why?
It's
Why?
it's that mass corona usage quarantine. There's
It's,
7,000 people just in Bionicle server. Yeah, it's ridiculousness.
It just occurred to me that Meso's was like, well, everybody's lagging to me, and then I realized we're both in North Carolina, which means we're both probably lagging.
Oh no! Well, I changed
So,
it from US West to US Central, so
Okay.
Well, immediately it's better.
Awesome.
it's Quest for Mata Nui. It's the game that came completely out of nowhere. You know, if anybody has not seen this trailer yet, somehow, even though it's like pushing 200,000 views, just go ahead and like leave this stream real fast. Take 2 minutes of your day, go watch the trailer.
I thought you were like getting on them for like not watching. Like, just leave. Just get out of here. You're not a fan.
We don't want you here.
Ah, yes. I definitely purport that you're not a real fan, Munch. That's my speed.
Oh yeah.
We know, Meso.
Yeah, just go watch it. It's like it's 2 minutes of your day well spent.
Oh yes.
For anybody who doesn't know, or I guess just so we're all on the same page, it has been a game that has been in development for 6 years, directed by one Craney Creations, longtime community member, was involved with numerous projects back in the day, notably Bionicle Next Generation. And he's been working with a bunch of talented people who have come onto the team in recent months and or years, such as Vaki Sticks, very popular 3D modeler in the Bionicle community, with music composed by Jonathan Kaplan of Bionicle Quest to the Toa fame, an old fan film that never saw the light of day. I don't believe he made individual music for this project, but I rather believe that he allowed Craney to use some music that he had already made. So it's like a greatest hits kind of a vibe of the Bionicle community kind of coming together. And a bunch of new people.
Man, all these names, Bionicle Quest for the Toa, Quest for Mata Nui, it's hard to keep track of.
It really is.
Yeah.
We're entering a new golden age.
Isn't there the official Bionicle game, Quest to the Toa?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is.
And there's Quest for Mata Nui,
Yeah.
but then there was a fan movie also called Quest to the Toa, but the Bionicle fan, but the official Bionicle game goes by another name, Tales of the Tahunga, but it also is called Quest to the Toa.
So
And
it's called Quest to the Toa
head.
because Tales of Tahunga was not very kosher when LEGO got legally pursued.
And then we also have the Bionicle game Legend of Mata Nui, which was canceled but is being developed again by fans.
And then
Speaking of laws,
we had Bionicle Toa's Quest, the 2D side-scrolling rage kit game.
Yep.
That was a good one. I like that
basically
one.
just pick quest and a word from Bionicle, mash them together, and throw as many other words as required to
All
make
right,
it make
guys.
sense, and you have your title.
I love
Bionicle
it.
Quest for Bionicle.
That's gonna be the documentary.
So this is kind of taking the community by storm, because usually with fan projects, we did a whole episode about this, about why fan projects fail. We're very used to seeing a traditional kind of approach with them, namely that people will try to advertise them when they're still in the idea phase, or they'll go like, I want to make, a fan game. This idea isn't new. People have been talking about making Bionicle RPGs for 2 decades now. Ever since the theme came out, people have been like, a Bionicle game would be so cool.
Yeah.
People always say it like, we're gonna do this, if you know how to do blank, join my team. We'll get something together. Maybe they'll post a giant wall of text explaining their ideas. We're not really used to seeing something this polished right out the gate.
I don't
And
think
by
we've
which I
ever
mean
seen
we've
anything.
never seen something
Yeah.
this polished right out the gate, because it's been being developed for 6 years. So it's certainly not done. There's no release date that's been given, but it's so far in development that what he has to show is substantial enough to where people are taking it seriously, which is why it's getting such mainstream appeal. The game might not be done, but it's playable. There's cutscenes. All 6 Toa are shown in the trailer. Beautifully rendered environments. Extremely detailed combat system. He made a whole other video showing the combat. I'm going to be real. When I first saw this trailer, I thought it looked cool, but I thought it was going to be like kind of a beat 'em up game. Like you walk around and you beat up the Rahi. Maybe you hold down the left click like Diablo or something.
See, I didn't think that because I can read and I saw the title.
I knew he could dodge. But like even Dark
Savage.
Souls, which this game is like based off of in combat, has roll, block, light attack, heavy attack, and that's really basically it. But he posted another video about the controls and like,
Oh yeah.
there's melee, dodge, heavy times 2 chain, elemental attack, elemental abilities, special rush attack, special breaker, special heavy attack combo, switching mask abilities.
Yeah,
It's, like,
it's pretty impressive.
it's wild.
As IGN would say, the game makes you feel like a Toa.
Yes. Is this the Dark Souls of Lego games?
Stop that.
That's an actual headline.
Are you?
by the way?
What are you? Who said
Yeah.
that?
Let me go find out.
Was
One of
that
the
was that the PC gamer or was that something else?
It was a different one. It was
There were
there was some
so
Russian
many
site.
press covering, like so much press covering
Yeah.
this.
So,
It's-
okay. So it's happygamer.com, htx.co.za, PC Gamer, CIGN, GamingNews24.org, Where's Games,
TechRaptor, Game
Tech
Debate,
Raptor.
GameStar.
I don't think
Yeah,
any piece of Bionicle media has ever gotten this much media
Well,
attention. Off the top of
Nothing.
my head.
Nothing post like 2010. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was hilarious. You go and you see all the press that this is getting, and it's like it's amazing how widespread this has gotten so quickly. And then you look at something like G2 and how flat its
Right.
coverage was.
That
Like,
should have been a big deal. Hey, Bionicle is coming back. Isn't that crazy, everyone? I didn't get that.
Yeah, it's weird.
I can't help but sit here and just be really happy for them. Like, I haven't been involved. None of us have been. But I look at this, and this is reaping the rewards of hard work. This really, truly is. And especially considering the head of the project, I feel so happy. Because he deserves this, especially after the project I'm familiar with him being a part of went.
Yeah, I remember Craney from B&G. I remember he was like, he did a whole 2D animated short when things went south and they were like, we're not going to do 3D movies anymore. They tried to do 2D and he put his money where his mouth is. He made one. It was cool and
It was really
nothing
cool.
more ever came of it. But I remember him because out of that entire project, he had a vision. It was ambitious, but it was relative to what a person could actually do, being a one-man operation.
And
He
he
did it. He released it. It was good, and I'm not surprised that
B&G
that he
just
would
didn't
be
do
involved
anything
with
to that.
this.
They were like,
Yeah.
that's cool. Bye.
That's cool. Time to dissolve the project.
Right.
So I'm not surprised that he is here and that he's making waves.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything from him in many years. So I guess
Well,
this is
because
why.
he's been busy.
He's been working for 6 of those.
Yeah.
So out of all of us, I would say the one that's become most involved, weirdly enough, in the happenings of this project is Kini.
Which is so strange. Not what I'd expect.
Kini's in the freaking server. He's become a moderator.
No, I haven't actually. No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I am not a mod. I'm just there to back up the mods because I appear to be the only person who knows off the top of their head how to respond to people who are freaking out about.
I was gonna say
things.
like it wouldn't surprise me. Like LJ mentioned that it was shocking, but like, is it though? Because I feel like Kini always finds a way to like get up there in every single fan project I've seen.
No, that's fair. That's a fair point.
It's because I like to be involved, but not involved enough to be at fault.
Amazing.
Bruh.
Amazing.
Wow.
I respect it.
Oh my gosh.
So this episode is going to be talking about a few things. Obviously, we want to talk about the game. We also want to talk about some of the things people have been saying, because literally, if I had $1 for every time someone in their Discord server, which, by the way, what's it at? Like 6,000 people now?
Or just about
It's
7, I think.
Something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
7,000, bruh. If I had $1 for every time someone asked if it was going to get DMCA'd or taken down by Lego copyright, I'd be a rich man.
Dude, I'd be able to pay my car payment this month at least. That's how high my counter got.
Yeah.
It's been the #1 most asked question, and I mean today that's going to be a focus. TLDR, no. But we're gonna be explaining why it's a no. Kini over here has done a lot of research. But first of all, the game. It looks amazing. I think what most struck me about it was, as superficial as it might be, just the visuals. It looks so polished.
No, that's not superficial at all. It's a visual medium. So if you're not on board with the visuals, it's already lost you.
It looks so good, and there's cutscenes, man.
Yeah, the thing that really got me was definitely the visuals. It not only does it, I mean, from a gameplay perspective, it looks impressive for something that was fan made. But like, it looks like something a studio would have made. It looks like something you would see launched at like E3 or something, you know. And like that the presentation just in its entirety, not just the way the game itself looks, but like the way the trailer was edited, the use of the music here, the font usage, all the animations, like the logo reveal at the end of the trailer has like to it that you just don't see in any fan-made thing in this community, at least. Like it's rare that you see something like that.
I've been looping the trailers because I love the soundtrack so much. It's great. It feels like an actual presentation for a project that would be at like E3.
It does. I remember watching it with Meso. Like, I had woken up. I was awake for maybe 60 seconds when he said, "You need to see this. You need to see this." And I thought he was joking. I thought, this is unbelievable. I thought, okay, this is going to be funny. And every single time it cut to something new, I was screaming like we did at E3 when Halo 4 was revealed. It was a ramp up of yelling because I was so excited. Like, Liwa versus Nua. Oh, multiplayer? What?
The multiplayer definitely got me. It's like, what? Of all
Mark our words. That's getting a Let's Play as soon as we're able. And we're all going to just be a different Toa. That's going to be an unbelievable.
I call Liwa.
What the fudge? Why? Why would you do that to me?
For that right there.
Kini, I thought we were friends.
We are. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Multiplayer is probably my biggest concern.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand. Like, when I saw that, I was hyped, obviously, but I have questions about that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
That's
how is
gonna be the hardest thing to pull off.
Honestly, we're gonna have to bite the bullet. We're gonna go back to Hamachi.
I mean, maybe.
Please don't.
Let's just have a LAN party in North Carolina, guys. Come on.
I'd be down. Oh my
With
gosh.
that internet?
Wait, social distance.
It's okay, guys.
We don't know.
We can be in person. We just have to be 6 feet apart, 6 feet like 6-toe Mata, and we all have to wear masks.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I've already got mine.
Quarantine Let's Play.
Okay, so Purple just turned around and looked at me watching the trailer, and when her mouth was open, and she was just like, "I haven't seen this yet."
Oh my gosh, really?
I just got like a live reaction from her. She's just like, "What? How have you not seen it? Watch it. I'll link it to you.
I know, it's incredible.
It's like ridiculous. This is what we're talking about right now."
Everything. When Tahu walked, I was like, oh, it looks pretty, but it's just going to be like a walking simulator. And then he dodged, and then he attacked, and then he used his elemental powers, and then there was multiplayer, and then they showed all the other Toa, and then Onua was running, and then he used the How to walk through the fire, and then there were cutscenes.
Yeah, it was like it's a perfect trailer. It was really well done.
It was
really well crafted for hype building purposes, because like every iconic scene that you're like, ooh, I wonder if that would be a good scene for a trailer. They're probably going to use like a pre-rendered Nope, it's from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's Liwa with his infected mask.
Oh my gosh.
That's that. Okay.
Tahu versus Kopaka. I don't remember it happening explicitly.
No,
but I don't mind.
It never did. It never did.
But you know.
But you know what? It's the coolest friggin'
It's
thing.
It's a very cool visual for sure.
And everyone has been using it. It's like, oh my gosh, that's a highlight.
There's a lot of new stuff that I'm curious to see. Like, I don't like some of the stuff looks like it's directly transcribed from Monog, or very closely referenced, like the bit of Kapura dialogue in the quests and NPCs section. So some of it looks like a very faithful adaptation. I'm curious about the stuff that isn't necessarily 100% faithful. I'm really curious what he does with that stuff, like the big Toa Keita statues. Like, I wonder what that's all about. I'm eager to see.
Yeah.
Put some fresh spins in there. I don't care. Mess with the
there's-
story a little bit.
There's a lot of things that he's mentioned offhand. Craney's done a very good job of not really answering every question that comes his way, which is both frustrating and hilarious for me as somebody who, you know, gets to watch everybody freak out about the same things over and over and over again. But
I love it because he's playing it true to how game devs do it. They gotta be
Totally.
keyed.
Well, and let's face it, what happens if something that we're all hyped to make it into the game that hasn't been shown off, he can't make work? Rather than disappoint everybody, just don't talk about it.
Yep. Very smart. And
But one thing that he has mentioned is that the Mana's crabs are supposed to be, and I quote, terrifying.
Oh no.
I'm expecting like Lego Abyss Watchers fight.
Also, correction. Tahu Mata versus Kopaka Mata wasn't a thing, but Tahu Nuva versus Kopaka Nuva was. So that's a distinction.
This is
Sorry.
more than enough of a precedent for the fighting.
Okay, Purple just watched the trailer. What did you think, Purple?
That
There you go, everybody. That was a live Purple reaction.
was not
it seems
English.
Thank you, Purple. Well, literally, like there wasn't a single there was one thing. It looked like the frame rate was like a tad choppy at the end when like 3 scorpions pop up.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally my only complaint. I hope it's not the frame rate is choppy. Otherwise,
Gosh.
freaking perfect. Like I don't have a negative thing to say, honestly. I love Dark Souls. I love beautiful Mata Nui landscapes. I love Bonkle. Like, what do I have to do to get quest for Voya Nui?
No. Real quick. How many of you guys saw the 12-minute gameplay demo?
I watched it.
Okay, so I watched it. The only thing I would offer for critique is whenever those Nui Jaga came in and things started ramping up, it was just like a wall of white noise. Like you had the music, and then you had the sound effects of the Rahi and the terrain and the Toa and the elements, and it just sounded like it mushed together too much. Like it was hype as heck, don't get me wrong, but that's the only thing I would offer.
Maybe a little chaotic.
It like audibly. It would audibly get a little too chaotic. Visually, I could.
I mean,
keep up.
he's still taking plenty of like suggestions in the Discord server. People have given a lot of good feedback. Some of the most requested items is like a lock-on feature for combat.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not just flailing around, trying to hit people like Dark Souls has a lock-on. You
Yeah.
should have one as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be.
Another thing I've been seeing requested is voice acting, and as much as I would love to be a proponent for that, I'm going to actually advocate against it, with one caveat. The only instance I would recommend it would be as a toggleable feature, so you can toggle between voices or just like the whirls and mechanical sounds, just as a feature for more accessibility than anything else. But otherwise, I wouldn't have voices at all.
I feel like if there was going to be voices, it would need to have some kind of processing done to it to make it match the
Robo voices.
yeah, like something maybe not quite like the G2 like Journey to One voices, which I hated, but like something
More
done
like
to it.
that than not.
Yeah,
Yeah, more like that than
properly
not.
I agree. Definitely agree, because they're
Yeah,
all robots.
Like you couldn't just have voices here.
I
There
would
has to
rather
be some
them
kind
not, simply because number one, it's another like development thing to go through.
There's a lot
that
of
could
quality
prove-
control to keep in mind.
And number two, quality control in the Bionicle community and just in fandoms in general.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of people who would do voice acting, but finding people who have the same level of skill and or equipment across a variety of different microphones to achieve some semblance of quality standard, it would be hard. Not
Yeah.
impossible, but hard. I
Yeah.
don't think it should be a priority. If they decide to do it, I think it should be like the last thing they do, maybe
agree.
even post-launch.
Yeah.
And if they do it, only with a toggle. That's my stance.
Yep.
Because I personally would rather play it without voice acting.
I mean, my honest opinion on it is that voice acting is gonna increase the dev time so much that I don't want it just on principle, because I want this game to come out sooner than later, and I don't want to wait for people to voice act properly to get it.
Yeah. I will say that if they were going to go the voice acting route, I actually would not suggest waiting until the end. It's something that you would probably want to go ahead and, at least for like the main voices, get that in there so that you can work, the cut scenes in the game and like the dialogue around the voice acting. Because that sounds like a lot of work to go into a finished game and add voices that might not match up with everything.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And the only reason I would even recommend it, I mentioned the accessibility aspect. Not everyone is going to be able to read the subtitles. Not everyone wants to read subtitles. We have numerous people here that don't really like them. But also, during that 12-minute gameplay demo, when Tahu is going up to Kapura, and you have Anjala, and you have all of these different dialogue options, I got major Mass Effect vibes. It's like Mass Effect, it relies, very heavily on its dialogue. And that's a way that it gets you immersed in the world, it gets you acquainted with the characters, and stuff like that. So, I think it would be a nice option.
It would certainly
eventually.
be nice. It would elevate, if they could do it properly, it would elevate the quality of the project by a lot. I just don't know.
Well, I think the solution IMO is to expand further than just the Bionicle community base, like touch on other places, because I know there are voice acting websites out there with people who you want to get into the voice acting field, and they would absolutely jump at a chance to voice act in something like this.
Oh yeah.
I've worked with Purple on some of her animation stuff, and it's easy to find quality voice actors with quality equipment.
Yeah.
You can do auditions. You can have a page set up for it where people can.
If it were to be professional voice acting, I'm on board. Just by nature of it being a fan project and, being unable to bring in an income, the likelihood of that's low, which is why I'm kind of in the anti-camp, because as much as I would love to join a project like this and let me voice a character and I'll do it and I'll love it, I also would much rather just have a really cool game to play.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. It hurts me to say, but I really do agree. So,
I just prefer the Bionicle approach of the no voice acting. It just helps with the atmosphere for me. Now, granted, I don't want it to be all silence. I like how Legend of Mata Nui does it. I like how other Bionicle fan projects have done it, where they make noises. They just don't speak,
like the
either mechanical noises or the garbles. Something along those lines. Outright silence would be a little creepy. So, we'll see. But that's been a commonly, discussed point. Past that, I see a lot of people going very overly ambitious, and they're like, "Oh boy, I can't wait for the Rakshi and the Borok DLC."
Of course. Yeah.
Hold your freaking horses. Maybe one day, but let's focus one thing at a time. Please don't overwhelm him with requests for more stuff than can be handled.
Just
please
let him do 2001. And on that note, 2001, this has everything stacked against us. This entire project has everything stacked against it succeeding. Because we talked about this, Meso, on our fan project video. If you're a rehash project of 2001 that's massively ambitious and you release something that gets a lot of attention, it is a recipe for failure. That's usually how it goes. That's the most common example of a failed project. Which is why this is, again, really impressive. Because it looks like it will not suffer that fate.
So what I imagine has happened is he's got enough of it done. The framework is there. The infrastructure is already there. And at this point, the three types of people he was requesting on his Discord server were writers for quest lines, 3D modelers who are good with retooling existing meshes, wasn't it something like that, something along those lines, and then composers. So it sounds like redoing stuff that's already there to be a higher quality standard and improving on it and writing side quests. It sounds like the basic framework is either done or good enough to where he felt comfortable announcing it for the purpose of getting more people to help finish it. That's what I imagine the motivation was behind announcing it now, because I've seen some people say, well, isn't he, repeating the same mistakes by announcing it without a release date?
Nope.
And not necessarily.
Nope.
Not necessarily. Retopology. There we go, Mata. He's looking for people who convert high resolution assets into optimized low poly meshes. There you go.
Yeah. No, it's
yeah.
a super
I think
wise
that
choice to not
having no release date is a good thing to check expectations. And he also said that he's not really too interested in releasing multiple like demos or builds that are incomplete and like drip feeding content. There will be betas, but they will be betas for the purpose of bug testing. Not we're going to drip feed the features. He wants to release it when it's polished and done.
Yeah, there's no early access on this.
There you go. That's the terminology I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Pup asks in the chat, this is random, I just want to read it. I have a question for all three of you guys. Since the Bionicle Cannon contest is going on, do you think LEGO will release those sets for the 20th anniversary?
No.
No.
Wait, which all three?
Oh, yeah.
There's four of us here. Which three?
Afraid not, bud. LEGO will not release those winners.
No, yeah, absolutely
Normal
not.
Normal LEGO sanction this game. Normal LEGO do anything with fan projects, and that's probably for the best. But the common refrain is fear. People are afraid that LEGO is going to take the game down. It's the number one most asked question in the Discord. Kini, this has been a source of frustration for you and many others in the server. You want to elaborate on this with this line of thinking a little bit?
Let me just thanks, Matu. I gotta crack all of it. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right. So, how much do you guys want me to take over this entire episode?
Speak.
I got sources.
Is there specific questions that we want to address up front? Okay, so DMCA takedown.
Yeah.
What is the likelihood of this happening?
The long and short of the situation is a lot of people, and from my experience, it seems to be a lot of people who aren't regularly part of the LEGO or Bionicle fandom who are coming in through the press that has been out there, through Reddit, through these other channels. A lot of what they're asking is, oh, this looks awesome, but I'm worried it's going to get taken down, or I'm just here to see how long it takes for LEGO to take it down. That's kind of the mentality that's been, going on, that keeps coming in. And the long and short of it is, it's not going to happen. I mean, I can't guarantee that it's not going to happen, but probably not going to happen. And there's a lot of reasons for that. First and foremost being that's not how LEGO operates. A lot of the fear, specifically in this case, because it's a fan game, comes from situations that have, happened in the past with fan games of there was that one Metroid fan game that got taken down.
Yes.
I know you felt that pain very personally.
AM2R.
And what
play it though, so it's fine.
What you have to remember going in is that Nintendo is a video game company. They make video games. They sell video games. LEGO does not do that. That is not LEGO's primary product. So for Nintendo, if you make a fan game of Nintendo, what you're doing is competing with their IPs, with their product.
Yeah,
if you do that for LEGO
with their product, with their own IP.
Exactly. If you do that with LEGO, you're not directly competing. There's a lot of evidence to back it up. But just from the Lego perspective solely, and this is as general, this is directly from their Fair Play brochure, which is how they treat copyright and competition. The Lego Group actively opposes any misuse that violates the protection granted under national and international legislation. We feel we have good reasons to do so. One of the aims of such legislation is to guarantee to consumers that they're buying the genuine original product and not an inferior copy. Generally, the Lego Group has a focus on these major areas. Number 1, policing our rights. Number 2, misuse of trademarks. Number 3, misuse of trademarks and copyrighted material on the internet. Number 4, attempted association with the Lego Group by unrelated parties. 5, product copying. And 6, licensing and co-promotion. Long and short, legalese out of there. Lego doesn't care about anything but people pretending to be Lego, people trying to be Lego, or people misusing the Lego trademarks. They do this by right out the gate. No project, nothing fan related or non-official is allowed to use the red Lego logo. You can use an orange Lego logo, but you can't use the red one. And that's because the red Lego logo is a trademark. If you use it, you'll get taken down. If you don't use it, you might be okay.
We're actually familiar with this because back a while ago in our old channel art, we actually had the Lego logo in it. It said like the TTV channel and then like Lego news discussion, something like that. And when we applied to become part of the LAN, they actually gave us a request to take that down, to remove that from the banner. So even when it comes to like YouTube channels and like fan sites and everything, generally speaking, you're okay unless you use the Lego logo. Lego doesn't want people thinking you're Lego.
Crunchbite in our patron chat is memeing because he asked, but what if you use Legos? And that is actually covered. Lego does not allow you to use Legos. The copyright is Lego. All caps, no S's, no additions. The first time you use it, it must be Lego in all caps with the registered copyright symbol. They have rules. They have things set up for this specific reason. Because unlike Nintendo, where they're a video game company that makes video games and that's all they do, Lego is a company that creates a product and encourages you to make your own.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much. And
That's a good way to look at it.
We have, even to this day, quite literally today, had this reinforced. And I don't know if we want to get into that now or later.
It's relevant to say it now.
Okay, fair enough. So, over on the TTV message boards, as I mentioned earlier, we're about to be running some contests. They are canonization contests for the Bionicle Generation 1 story. What they are is visualization contests. So, characters in the story from Generation 1 that never had appearances. Helrix, Tuyet, Artaka, the last 4 Toahaga, Toa Nadiki, the list goes on. So, the reason for this is because somebody on our message boards asked, hey, Greg, because Bionicle author Greg Farshti is on the boards, he answers questions still. Hey, Greg, would you be interested if the community was down? Would you be interested in bringing these canon contests back? And Greg said, yes, if the community was okay with it, I would do it. Great, awesome. So we hosted a poll for a little over a month, and we were only able to get 492 people to vote, which was very frustrating because obviously we can tell there are more people, but the way we look at it is those are the invested people. They took the time to actually vote in the poll. They're going to be the people that are active in the community, that are invested enough to actually partake. So, did that. 75% said yes, sent it off to Greg. He said, all right, let's get this going. So, we spent a lot of time with some other Bionicle community heads, and we spent a lot of time looking over the posts and the comments that we got in regards to it. Gave it a lot of time and consideration. We came up with a list of rules. We're happy with the rule list, but it's still under renovation. It's still being worked over. Compromises are still needing to be made because when you give an inch, you'll lose a mile. And one of the biggest points of contention for this has been 3D printed pieces, specifically masks and weapons. There have been some concerns that people would see the contest, trying to win the contest as a way to profit. Like, haha, I have the cannon mask. Pay $20 for this mask. Ha ha ha. And stuff like that. They'd be able to monopolize it and whatnot. And there have been some other people, and I'm gonna say which group it is because they've made their stance pretty clear. It's RSG. RSG has also revoked use of any of their pieces in the contest, which is totally fine. We're gonna honor any 3D modeling group and or individual that doesn't want their pieces used. Absolutely no questions asked. It is their decision, their models. That's fine. However, they revoked use of their parts because they're scared of legal ramifications. Because Greg, who is an active employee of the LEGO Group, he is the chief editorial director, I think it is.
I believe so.
Because of that, he is canonizing these things as the official representations for the Bionicle Generation 1 story. And so they're a little concerned. Part of their concern, they have many concerns, part of them is that they're, because it's being designated a Bionicle design, that LEGO legally might look at that and be like,
They're gonna come after them basically, or come after anyone who might win with a 3D printed piece.
Exactly, and that they'd lose control over that design. So, we are part of the LEGO Ambassador Network, so I reached out to an employee of LEGO, and I'm not going to say his name because he hasn't permitted us to say who he is. We also, it's a bit of a gray area as to what we can and cannot release, like actually the wording from the LAN. But essentially, we reached out to him, and he said he thought it was cool. Greg was still engaging with Bionicle fans. He couldn't speak for the company proper. However, he didn't feel that it was anything LEGO was going to look into or even consider. And then when it came to how LEGO would feel about the canonizing of creations that use those 3D pieces, he said LEGO would always be intrigued and inspired by how fans use and play and engage with LEGO elements, and they're inspired to see that creativity and use every day.
The running theme being, unless it directly infringes on the LEGO trademark property, whatever, to a point where it would call into question, profits of their main branding, aka the toys, they're probably not ever going to do anything against fan works. This includes mocks, games, 3D printed masks, animations, anything.
As long as you're not stealing their product itself or stealing their brand, their identity, you're probably okay.
There is one time that something has happened to my knowledge. Well, okay, 2 times. One was when, you remember the Kickstarter for Monog Collector's Edition?
Yes.
Yep, I was actually about to ask about that.
That's the main one.
That's the big example that I think people would point to.
That's the quickest, easiest, most specific example to this, or most applicable example we have.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone remember the specifics with that?
I remember. We did a video on it. I think it was just the 4 of us as well.
Yep. I don't think, was I there? I don't know if I was there. I don't remember.
I don't know. Anyway,
I feel like it was a long time ago.
I think it was the other KI that was there.
Yeah.
I mean, to catch people up, the long and short of it is, group people were gonna repackage MNOG. I don't know if they were sprucing up the game.
They were
I don't
sprucing
quite
up the
remember. Sprucing up the game. They were 3D printing Takua's backpack. They were going to include that and like disc it and his mask and do all this stuff. And it was that. I mean, it was a really cool project. It's a cool idea. They were charging for it because yeah. And LEGO told them to stop.
Yep. Simply because money was involved and it was repackaging an already existing LEGO product, essentially. Along those similar lines, the other instance where something has happened is on Shapeways in regards to the custom part community. LEGO issued, what was it? Was it a cease and desist? Was it a DMCA? What exactly was it that they issued?
think it was a cease and desist.
A cease and desist in reference to the titles of Shapeway models, i.e., Bionicle Kanohi Mask of blank, Lego Mask of blank, and they simply said, "Hey, remove the name Bionicle and Lego."
Yeah.
And you're good.
Yeah.
They didn't take down the models. They didn't take down the pieces. They didn't take down outright replications of Lego elements or slightly modified Lego elements. They didn't take down any of this. They just said, "Hey, don't use the word Lego."
Yeah.
Because again, it comes down to their primary concern is making sure that nobody can mistake a fan product for the real thing.
Yeah.
Lego's fair play policy, their little brochure they have that that lays everything out. I'll put a link somewhere after this, I'm sure. It literally ends with, we want to make sure that consumers can have confidence that anything bearing the Lego Group's trademarks or characteristic product features is a Lego brand product. This is in the best interest of not only our company, but of also our consumers, primarily children, all over the world. All we ask is that there should be fair play, hence why it's called the fair play policy. It's not their copyright policy, it's their fair play policy. Because they want you to be creative and make stuff. They want communities to form and do fun stuff. That's why there is a Lego Ambassador Network. That's why there is all of these projects that happen and pop up that Lego tacitly allows to exist, despite the fact that they could be in violation of any number of things that Lego could go after them for. But they don't.
Because yes, there are legal concerns sometimes when it comes to these things. Like, legally, if Lego wanted to, they probably could crack down on a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, they
But
absolutely could.
The point being made here is that they're not going to. They don't care. They don't want to. They wouldn't do it. They haven't done it. They're not going to do it.
And I see a lot of people, both with Quest for Mata Nui, with the custom mask stuff. A lot of people have the approach of, well, you say they're never going to do it, but that's not evidence. That's just you simply saying, your belief that Lego is not going to care. What if they do care? But what people don't seem to understand is that, especially in the world of legality, but even in just, basic logic and reasoning, precedents are the name of the game, because precedents decide, what the rule is going forward. How cautionary should people be? You look to the past, you look at rulings that have been made, you look at what the current standing is on a given issue. And if there's never been a situation where Lego has actively gone out of their way to strike down fan projects before, then there is no reason to assume that they would now. And that isn't 100% fail-safe, foolproof rather, like Kini said. They could.
You run the risk.
Possible. You run the risk, but if there is no tangible, quantifiable evidence that something will happen, then why would you be a slave to fear or paranoia? You lose sight of reality and how it actually works.
And even if Lego cared at the end of the day, even if they actually decided to intervene in some capacity, once again, you look at the history, the precedent that has been established by this company, you can see the most they've ever done is give DMCAs.
And not only that, but they don't like coming out the gate with them. They want to work with people.
Right.
They like seeing the creativity that the communities put forward. They want this stuff to happen because at the end of the day, it's free advertising for them.
Yep.
They didn't have to pay, and somebody made a cool thing using their IP. As long as it's not abusing their IP or their trademark, they're happy. And if it is, or they're concerned about it, they'll either take it down or they'll work with the people that are working on it to make everybody happy. As is the case with Shapeway.
I said DMCAs, but I meant cease and desist letters.
Yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is, in terms of precedence, right now, anybody who's thinking of making a Metroid fan game or anything based on a Nintendo property, yes, go to sleep terrified and wake up terrified, because yeah, they'll come after you. They have proven time and time again that they'll do it. They don't give you a chance, they just take it down.
People
Lego,
wouldn't have
though,
to make fan games if Nintendo would freaking make their own games. I'd buy them, Nintendo. Sorry.
It's, you know, like Nintendo and Disney even are very protective of their copyright for a lot of different reasons. Lego, on the other hand, has proven time and time again that they want to work with people. Because as much as the Lego brick and as much as Bionicle and as much as any of their lines are their brand is also creating new stuff.
Yeah.
Right. That's literally the whole purpose of their product.
And
Take
like
it and make stuff with it.
You know, you have situations like Darkflame Universe, which is a Lego Universe fan server. It's a server emulator for Lego Universe. They are taking a game that Lego paid for, that Lego canceled, and designing a way for you to play it without paying. It's not hidden on Google searches. It's like the #1 search result when you search Darkflame Universe or Lego Universe fan game or et cetera, et cetera. Like, these are not hidden. They're there. Lego knows about them. They've been up. They've been working on them. That is significantly more egregious of a copyright violation than something like Quest for Mata Nui is, because Quest for Mata Nui is using an original IP and making a game based off of it. This is literally taking a game they paid for and just re-releasing it.
And
Likewise with Legend of Mata Nui.
exactly. In fact, Legend of Mata Nui might even be worse, because Darkflame Universe has to get, they have to get all of the materials, but they also have to create some materials as well in order to, actually get it working. But like Sakota says, or like he implies, that was publicly released. Legend of Mata Nui was never publicly released. It was not to the quality standard Lego wanted to adhere to. It was outright leaked, and the reason it took so long to release is because everyone was super worried Lego was going to seek legal action against anyone that leaked it, against anyone that had it. And so nobody did anything with it for 2 decades. And then finally, the whole thing came out. Multiple versions. When one person came forth with it, others did. And now you have it not only in a playable state, but they're reworking it to improve it. They've got a rebuild version, which is a better, improved version of it with additions.
And this has been out for years at this point.
We're
bordering on 3 years, I believe.
I think so. And that is Lego property. They have said so in the past, which is why there was such a concern. But now that it's out, not a single time have I ever heard anyone say that Lego sent them a message about it. Not once.
And I mean, this is why it's a frustrating outlook, because I get it from a level of not being a freaking lawyer and someone who just reads all these news stories about companies like Nintendo who shut stuff down. People look at stuff like Quest for Mata Nui and they get scared because they don't want to get excited for something that isn't going to actually manifest. People look at our canon contests and these groups, they get scared because they don't want to be sued by allowing their stuff in. It's not like I don't understand the fear, but I don't let myself be a slave to it because I operate in the bounds of logic. You have to with law. If you're going to try to have a discussion when it comes to law, then you look at the precedents. And then the closest thing we have to Lego actually taking someone to court is them not taking people to court for decades upon decades and decades. That's as good as we get, aside from an actual legal ruling one way or the other. And it's a frustrating thing to have to discuss, from the perspective of our canon contests, but from the perspective of this game, these people are excited. They're launching this Discord server, and there's literally hundreds of people just asking about DMCA. It's the #1 asked question. It's all anybody can ask. And like, how many times have you had to reiterate it?
Oh, I was up to 150 before I stopped. It's insane. And the thing that bothers me the most, because I understand it too, and we're talking about people who are coming in from outside of the community who maybe don't know, or their only experience is in situations where fan game gets taken down because of X. The thing that bothers me the most, though, there are 6,000 more plus people in that server. At the point where there's 6,000 people in there, it's not an original thought. It's been 2 days. Other people have asked. It's been gone over.
It's in the FAQ, isn't it?
I actually don't know off the top of my head.
Definitely should be.
They pinned some messages for a while. The thing is that Craney doesn't want to take a stance just in case Lego does do anything. We can talk about how unlikely it is because it's incredibly unlikely, but I do agree that taking a direct stance and saying it's not going to be an issue and then it becoming an issue somehow would look bad. That being said, again, we're not pulling obscure references to things. I searched up Lego copyright policy and got their fair play notice and their policy. I searched up Lego Universe fan game and got Darkflame Lego Universe. I searched up The Legend of Mata Nui and the BioMedia Project and Lightstone Studios, the guys that are making it and rebuilding it, came up. These are not obscure references. These are front page of Google. This takes less than 5 minutes to go and see, I wonder if there's been other fan games that have been taken down. Nope, cool. 5 minutes.
Really, really quick. I love what Diggy in the patron chat said. Meso be like, Lego not taking people to court for decades and decades. Shake my head. They took the small fan group Lepin over their fan-made creations to court.
Oh my god.
Please, no.
Yes, fair enough.
So,
Lepiner.
Yeah, no. Lego does take people to court. In fact, they did take Lepin to court because Lepin was actively deceiving people into believing they were officially Lego, to the point of outright ripping off directly set designs and publishing them as their own. They took them to court and they won. Which is why it should be apparent to people, Lego's protective of what they own, which means it's very interesting to see them so lenient. And actually, it works.
Yeah.
It works with what everyone was saying earlier. Lego went after people who were competing directly in their ballpark. Games are not Lego's ballpark.
I think the mentality can be explained more so that, and they're not necessarily protecting the IP itself as much as they are protecting their customers. They don't want customers being tricked into buying inferior products under the presumption that it is, in fact, a Lego product when it is not.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They don't want
and
the
here,
customer being tricked.
like in the case of Quest for Mata Nui, I can tell you 2 ways to guarantee Lego gets it taken down. Number 1, call it official. Number 2, take money for it. Those 2 things will guarantee that Lego will reach out.
Yeah. And
Like
unfortunately,
there's a lot of people in the server who've been asking about donations, asking about a Patreon, asking about ways to support the project. And unfortunately, supporting the project monetarily guarantees that Lego will take it down. We've seen it in the past with the MNOG Redux thing. Like, that's pretty much the only way. Lego doesn't care if you're not pretending to be Lego or you're not making money that you shouldn't be making.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, there's a YouTube channel that literally has the first three Bionicle movies on YouTube, full length, for free.
Mm-hmm. And
on YouTube,
yeah,
the place where things get taken down when they shouldn't be.
yeah. No, they're totally free and clear. In fact, there are 2 variants. There's the movie as it was made, and then
there's the enhanced.
There's the enhanced version. So you have all 3 movies up twice.
Like, that right there should show you how much Lego cares about things if there's not money being made.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it sucks because my first thought when I saw this was like, I want to give this dude money. I was like, I want to donate. I want to give money because this is so cool. But like, you can't.
No.
You can't, because that, if anything, could tarnish the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It could completely destroy. In fact, Kini, to kind of jump off of what you were saying there, so the BioMedia Project is one of the pillars when it comes to Bionicle resources. They have images, videos, flash games, web games, all sort. Like, they have the largest collection of Bionicle media, hence the name, anywhere. Just cataloged and archived. It's wonderful. Highly recommend them. They're also the same group of folks who were able to bring Legend of Mata Nui to the world, which is great. They spoke with LEGO. They got correspondence from LEGO through the LEGO Ambassador Network because they're members. Hey, can we host the retail games? I'm talking Bionicle the game, Bionicle Heroes, the Game Boy Advanced games. And LEGO said yes. They were absolutely fine
I did not
with it.
realize they actually got that correspondence.
No? Okay, yeah, no. That's what they said. They told everyone, yeah, we reached out to LEGO. LEGO said yes. I think there were some stipulations, like, just don't have people pay for it. But keep in mind, they have permission through and through. Keep in mind, one of those games is Bionicle Heroes. If you go onto their website right now, you will find Bionicle Heroes for download for console and PC. That is a game made by TT Games. They make modern Lego games. The Lego games you see released, Lego Star Wars, Lego Harry Potter, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Jurassic World. They make those games now. And LEGO is totally fine with Bionicle Heroes being up for free for download on BioMedia Project.
That's actually funny.
Let's be real. Not only is BioMedia Project in a position where they could reach out to LEGO, they're an officially recognized community in the LEGO Ambassador Network.
They are. Correct.
Officially recognized, as in LEGO themselves went, yeah, we're cool with these guys being part of our Ambassador Network.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like this is the situation that we have with LEGO. They work with the community. They want community. The community that creates is the community that's doing exactly what LEGO wants.
Yep.
And yeah,
that's what it really boils down to. Nobody knows 100% for certain what the future may hold. But when there's 10 pieces of evidence that suggest no and nothing suggesting like yes, I think we're probably good. I think we're pretty safe.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, even to touch super briefly back on the canon contest situation, I could be wrong about this. This is just what I remember reading during a little bit of research. But the Rahi contest that created the Rahi book, and the Dark Hunter contest that created the Dark Hunters book, and all of those fan creations that were put in there, I did a little bit of digging. LEGO doesn't own those either. LEGO is only allowed to use those which are canon to Bionicle for marketing purposes.
Where did you find
They
that?
don't own them. I'll have to dig it up, but it was...
Please do.
Yeah, it was a couple of things I mentioned. I think it was somewhere in the terms and conditions for one of the contests. I'll have to see if I can find it again, but like I said, I remember reading that. If that is the case, the canon contests aren't an issue because...
LEGO will
Again,
never own them.
precedent says LEGO doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this all comes down to. Precedent says LEGO doesn't care. Can they change their minds? Yes. Have they ever that we know of? No.
Well, I forget who said this. It was one of the first messages about the matter in the Quest for Mata Nui Discord server, which everybody should go join if they haven't already, because it's hilarious, like how quickly that place is just ballooning and being like almost a hub site in and of itself. And it's a freaking Discord server. But one of the first comments made was, you know, we acknowledge the risk going into it. We're confident enough taking the risk to move forward. and we would appreciate it if people didn't talk about it too much further because we don't want to scare people. You know, scare people for nothing. Like we have done the due diligence to know our way around this minefield at least a little bit, and if we thought there was a risk, we wouldn't really be doing it. They're confident. We should be confident too, because the last thing we want to do is potentially cause a Streisand effect where people talk about it so much and they get so worried about DMCA that maybe one person at Lego just has a different opinion because, I mean, so many people are talking about it online and thinking we should do something. Maybe we should do something. You know? We have to be intelligent. There's no reason to lose our heads over it. Just look at the past of the community and enjoy the ride. That's my advice to people. I understand being afraid. We should just try to curb it.
Don't let your fear get in the way of being hyped for the game or for projects that people put out, because Lego has never just taken something down. It's not like AM2R where it just one day it was there and the next it was gone. Lego doesn't do that.
Yep.
So that's basically all I have to say on that matter.
I'm not sure what else could be said. It's obviously all of this is just what we know. Could it totally, completely flip on its head and change? Absolutely. We could be completely wrong. Lego could look at this and be like, nope, bye. Could absolutely happen. 100% it is on the table. But it's like kind of toward the edge. Like if you let a cat on the table, it's going to knock that off. So just be reasonable. Like Mesa was saying. Just be reasonable.
Yeah, dude.
Let me see. I think there was something else we wanted to talk about very briefly in regards to, I think, our contests, but I think we've already touched upon it. It's basically that
we have.
They're in the clear as well. Feel free to join them. You don't have absolutely anything to worry about as far as those are concerned. Like I said,
honestly,
we've made Lego aware of them. They're fine. We're good.
Yeah, literally, like we didn't have to send freaking Lego people messages about our contests, but we as well, we're confident enough to feel safe taking that risk, and I mean, it paid off. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel completely safe.
Even if it was a concern that somebody else, I mean, Lego people already knew. Greg Farshty, editorial director. Yeah.
But
So,
Greg doesn't have the approval, you know. Greg can't make decisions about the canon.
Stupidest argument I have ever heard regarding the contest. It was absolutely the bottom of the barrel, dumbest thing I have ever seen during the dialogue about this contest.
Tell us how you really feel.
There's some
Just
I mean, hey, it's almost like this whole conversation has been about precedence, and that right there is another example thereof.
That right there is another example thereof.
This
How you
is
doing,
this
Keenan?
is why I'm so sick and tired of having these conversations over and over and over and over and over again. I feel like I'm aging 40 years, boys.
Dude, this contest. Hey, be thankful that you two aren't involved in these these
Really
contests.
Oh, I'm so happy.
It'll give you
I'm
gray
so
hair.
no idea how
Var's been
happy
like
I am.
providing useful insight from a safe distance.
He really has. Like, it's been great. Honestly, my eyes are recovered now, which is cool.
We've been getting freaking gray hairs. LJ's only break has been going to work. Like,
Yeah,
so...
it's really bad when my version of a break, of an escape from the contest stuff is going to work, specifically because I'm a 911 dispatcher. That's not a calm environment if things are really happening.
No, it's bad, and a lot of it boils down to this discussion. Not all of it, but
You guys
Oh,
want
I
to know
bet
something
people-
funny?
Oh no,
what's funny?
they just took it down.
Oh no. The quest for Mata Nui's Discord server got more active members in 2 days than the TTV message boards did in 6 years.
It hurts, but it's so true.
How it goes. I'm okay with this.
I'm all right. I'm all right with this.
I'm okay with this.
But it goes to show you, the Bionicle community is this weird amorphous blob. Like, you can never really hone in on exactly how big it is. Like, these people, you've got 6,000 people in a few days. Do you know how it took us like 24 days with the help of Just Too Good and Obo Shoes, both channels with over 100,000 subscribers, to get Sakota's project to 10,000 people. And this video has 151,000 plus views. In 2 days.
It is weird. There's so many Bionicle fans out there, but they're just all in different places, and they all have different levels of care. Like, some of them care about stuff, and others just don't give a crap.
Right?
I think I mentioned it privately a long time ago as halfway a joke and halfway something serious, where it was like, the community is so fractured. We need something to bring everything together, but it's never going to happen because it's just logistically impossible. All these groups have different rules, different things, different this, different that. These guys hate these guys, and on and on and on and on and on. And then this game comes along and just, in 2 days does all the work.
Yeah, I mean,
Literally
people just
all
need
the
a
work.
unifying thing,
Yeah. So it's crazy. It's really bizarre. Real quick,
I think the final thing. Oh, okay.
No,
go
you
ahead.
go ahead first, please.
Well, I wanted to talk about another thing in regards to this, because there's another Bionicle fan project.
I was just about to say this. I was just about to talk about them.
You can handle this part. You're more
Are we thinking the same thing? Is it Team Kanohi?
Yes.
Is it Bionicle Masks Power?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Excellent.
I would like to talk about that.
I want to talk
But
about
you're
this
soon.
too. So Bionicle Masks of Power is another fan game that is very similar in scope to this. It is another 2001 remake. You play as the Toamata. You go around the island of Mata Nui. There are quest lines. There are things to do. There are a whole slew of things. And they're very similar games. The difference being Masks of Power has been public for a very long time. It's been about 3 or so years at this point. And they've been providing developer updates. They've been giving release versions. They've been very open and upfront with the progress of the game. A message I want to give to them, and I'm going to send this to them privately anyway, but if they listen to this, or anyone that works in the team listens to this, do not let this discourage you. Let this encourage you. There are no losers here. Everybody wins by having Bionicle Quest of Mata Nui and Masks of Power. Both games are perfectly legitimate. They're really good. I have played Masks of Power. It's a super fun game, and I can't wait for it to get even better. And I know it will. I know what they've been putting out publicly. It's great stuff. Guys, do not let this discourage you. Just because there's so much attention and there's so much excitement for the other game does not mean that you guys should not stop working as hard as you can to make the best game that you can, because you've been doing that. Nothing changes that. Please keep it up. Do not let this discourage you. You guys both have great games. Keep at it.
Yeah, it's a really good message.
Yeah.
And
also, real quick, I wasn't talking about to Craney's team. I was talking Massive Power. Sorry, there might have been a little confusion there.
Yeah, Craney has nothing to be discouraged.
No. In fact, Craney should feel real good about this. But
Craney's like living life right now.
Yeah.
Probably things are going good, and I hope he's got a bunch of people to help with the project.
Yeah.
But we.
Oh no.
Yep, there he goes.
Because we
goes
have to call it
Meso.
Masks of Power.
Yep, there he is.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah,
yeah.
you cut out.
Oh, rip. We've been talking internally about Masks of Power for a while because we've been all following it, and I can understand if I was in their shoes, I might be a bit discouraged, not because they don't like the project, but just because of all the media attention it's getting compared to theirs. But the Bionicle community needs this kind of diversity. It needs so many successful fan projects to point to. Both of them could stand on their own merits perfectly fine. They're both very different in terms of style, and they're both success stories. Like, please like LJ said, just keep up the good work because it's not going unnoticed. We're all following it, and we all wish you nothing but the best too.
Yeah.
And I think your game's freaking outstanding.
Yep.
So, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, look at it this way. I've been a fan of Lego for not even Lego, Bionicle for 20 years now. I am absolutely pumped there's going to be 3 Bionicle games at the same time.
Mhm.
So don't mess that up for me, guys.
Yeah.
I love you. Don't mess it up.
Yeah.
Because
Please don't.
I need
I
it.
would love to see these come to fruition.
Yeah.
Like Masks of Power has already been playable, but I have every reason to assume Quest for Mata Nui will be as well. Like we need these success stories. The community needs them for a bit of positivity, and honestly, like it's just a good thing to have to exist. Umatu made this really good comment that like I'm glad these projects exist, but like Lego, maybe one day they'll realize what a sleeping giant Bionicle actually is. And give it the respect it deserves. The fact that it can still get this many people this hyped about it in 2020 just because of like fan projects is a testament to like the spirit of the franchise.
Yeah.
And it's trapped in a cycle because as much as we meme, Faber and Christian Faber and his whole 1-4B 2020 thing, unironically, I do think that Bionicle could succeed if it was outside of Lego, if someone came along and like got the rights and tried to do their own thing with it. But that's never going to happen. Bionicle's a Lego property. It's contingent upon Lego to do stuff with it, and they're just not. And that's a shame. But then I see stuff like this, and I'm reminded that at the end of the day, it's not really that big a deal. Because all these projects are happening in a world where Lego is doing nothing with the IP. And honestly, would I have preferred, another year of mediocre G2 animations? Or would I have preferred Quest for Mata Nui? Ideally, I wouldn't have to choose. If I have to choose, fan works any day. Give me them. They're great. So you all should feel very happy with yourself. You are keeping this fandom alive. And it does not go unnoticed by any of us.
Yep, and we will definitely. I know Masks of Power is going to have a release on the 28th, I believe they announced, and we're definitely going to be covering that. So keep an eye
Definitely, and we're going to be covering Quest for Mata Nui as it continues to get new updates. Like, as far as I'm concerned, it has now become a regularly, it'll be a regularly incorporated part of the TTV channel.
Mhm.
The news we follow, the news we report on, the news we discuss. Quest for Mata Nui and Mask Power, that's like, bring it on, man, bring it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nope, absolutely, 100% agreed.
Whoa, we got some fan art. Woo!
Oh, have you not seen this before? He's been working on
No,
this
I
for
have
a
not.
while. What? How?
I missed this.
How?
ZC, I've missed this. I'm sorry,
He
I
said-
didn't see it.
What is wrong with you?
I have so many DMs.
You're not.
I have to point out a glaring error in this fan art.
Oh no.
LJ doesn't drink.
No, that's
And definitely not on a beach.
It's mangosteen juice.
Yeah, but LJ, you don't go to beaches.
The real mistake is that LJ doesn't wear pants.
I'm sorry. What?
LJ only ever wears shorts, so I mean,
There we go. Yeah.
But also, you've said yourself you have no interest in going to a beach, so I don't know why we're podcasting from a beach.
We're.
It's a good question.
Listen, man.
Look, man, I'm just pointing out some inconsistencies
In my backstory.
in your back. Yeah, exactly. Look,
Bruh.
There's the song.
Can we have a canonized contest for LJ's backstory?
I'm down for this.
We're gonna send
I
it
would
to
like to
Greg.
get this going.
Greg's gonna look at this and be like, why are you sending this to me?
We'll
Who
do the
is
LJ
this?
backstory contest only after the Botar's replacement contest.
Shut up. We're not doing. Dude, we're having a hard enough time getting a Mirindar contest. Thanks to you.
Dude. Thanks to. Oh, I guess it is thanks to me.
Yes, it is. I argued against it. You ding dong.
I don't
Watch your
apologize.
language.
Sorry.
I regret nothing.
Sorry.
I've lived as few men dared to dream.
Now have you?
Kini, Var, do you have anything else you'd like to
You've
say?
never seen The Matrix, have you lived?
No.
All right.
Well,
Kini?
I've gone through all the things I gotta say. I've said them a million times before. I don't feel like saying them again.
And if you'd like to interact with Kini and ask him more questions, feel free to join the Quest for Mata Nui Discord server and ask him all your DMC related questions. DMCA related questions.
Don't do that to me, no.
He'll be happy to answer them.
I'll be happy to link you back to this video.
Now, as with every Knack and Jay, we would like to cap off the episode with some Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
feel
yeah.
free to
A little
fire
bit.
us off with questions.
Real quick, before the questions come in, Dybek gave us $2 super chat, and with the message, "Thank you guys for covering this topic. Keep it up." Thank you.
You're very welcome. I like covering topics like this. Positivity, optimism, creative projects.
I like covering my feet with socks.
Not sure how that's relevant, but glad to know that you're a normal person.
All right. Sharnak in the
Here we
YouTube
go.
chat says, "Can we canonize mangosteen as an official element?" LJ?
No. I mean, I would be remiss if I did not say I've tried. But I didn't try as an actual, like, standalone element. I tried to ask, are there one-to-one, not representations, but, like, is there a Bionicle banana? You know, is there, like, a version of a banana in the Matorn universe? To kind of say, hey, is there a version of a mangosteen in the Matorn universe? And I think the answer I got was, maybe. Because if it's...
Isn't there that explosive fruit?
There's the Madu, yeah. Madu and the Thornax. But
We just...
yeah, it's like,
'cause-
well, it would just become another part of a Toe of Plant Life's repertoire.
Yeah. Sirlo John asks, when is this video going up? Good question. Tomorrow morning. He also asks, what do you think might be the cause of the boom in Bionicle content this year? I think a few reasons. It's a significant year because it's the 20-year anniversary. Depending on your, when it came out, 2000, 2001, your perspective
We're
may
coming
differ.
up on the definitive public global launch, so
Yeah,
20-year anniversary and 10-year anniversary from the death.
exactly, and the
Yes, so-
5-year anniversary of
And
G2.
5-year. It's a significant year. For...
It's a big year for Bonkle in general, and I also think a lot of stuff was spurred very early on by Sokoto's project. I think obviously not a lot of this stuff because it's been in development for a while, but in tandem, a lot of these projects, reaching to the point where they can be presented, coupled with the ideas push, it's brought Bionicle back into the public headspace in 2020. So a lot more people are talking about it and following along with stuff in regards to it. Sakota has his Quest for Mata Nui 14B 2020 the whole time. Wouldn't that be a twist? Cranius
Right?
Faber.
Oh my
Hey, there we
gosh.
go. Here's one from the YouTube stream that's a good segue since you bring up Faber. Trend says, so with LEGO sending C&Ds only to projects explicitly related to pieces and/or logos, could Christian Faber get away with his rumored shenanigans, or could Greg Farshty sue him? Well, for starters, it wouldn't be Greg.
I don't know. I've heard
well,
the
I
phrase
mean, yeah.
Greg's legal team over the last 2 days, King.
So have I. It's painful.
Greg's legal
Um,
team.
The reality of it is that so far what we've been shown, with the exception of Faber kind of, pushing that Bionicle connection, which I am of the opinion is just a way to hype up the project that he's actually working on. Probably not. Probably not to LEGO suing. Probably not to him getting away with it. He'll probably get away with it. I mean, there's nothing to get away with.
Yeah.
It's so divested away from Bionicle that, I mean, why would they go after it? It's a pitch. It's nothing more than a pitch right now. So, yeah.
True enough.
Pretty much.
Uh,
Oh gosh, there was another one.
Markle's Trash says, hey, I'm a part of Team Kanohi. Just popping in to say we really appreciate your support and positivity here. Glad you've been keeping up and been looking forward to it. Woohoo!
Absolutely. Please do not get discouraged. I like somebody posted a great image earlier from like the artist's perspective. That guy's cake. is better than mine. The audience, wow, 2 cakes. That's how it is. That's genuinely how it is. We're looking forward to having 2 cakes.
Oh, new one. Oh, sorry, you go first.
I was gonna say Luke the Duke 424 asks, would TTV ever make a video comparing and contrasting Masks of Power and Quest for Mata Nui? Maybe, but I would include Legend of Mata Nui as well.
Yeah, they're all
it would
similarly
be
styled.
a 3-part comparison.
I also feel like playing them is one thing, but just a straight comparison's probably unlikely because they're not directly comparable, and also we just talked about how we want all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
The only thing a comparison would be good for is just to advertise all 3 of them. It wouldn't really be to critique them because that's not productive. It is not productive to pit them against each other because it doesn't do any good. It's just not a good thing for anyone. So it would only be to show here are all the good things they all have to offer. So I could see the good in doing that.
Onua Nuva himself is in the chat.
Wow. Oh. Hey, Onua, buddy. Continue.
He asks, LJ, do I have more cons than pros?
No. No, you have more pros than cons.
No, Onua Nuva definitely has more cons.
He didn't ask you.
Nuva Mask sucks.
I speak for the trees, Meso. Shut up.
Then we have Sean Pidgeot says, what would you think of LEGO re-releasing 2001, 2003 sets and making them more articulate? And how would you feel if they mixed the designs with the movie designs? It's never going to happen.
Yeah, no.
It'd be a neat idea, but it's never going to happen. Those pieces don't even exist anymore. And making them more articulate, I mean, at that point, you would either have the 2015 sets, which are an evolved modern form, or you would just have the Mata with limbs, bendable limbs on them, and that's even more unlikely. As far as mixing with the movie designs, that just sounds really awkward to me as something for an official LEGO product. I'm not really interested in seeing that personally.
Let's face it, Lego's not gonna do it. The modding community might.
Maybe people have already been working on it in Shapeways. They've made bendable versions of model limbs, and it's really impressive.
And in fact,
this is
the bendable version of model limbs, the one that we've talked about on the TTV podcast, done by Vaki6, who was on the modeling team.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
And this is where too it comes down to another thing that's been mentioned a lot in the Quest for Mata Nui server the last couple of days is Lego gonna endorse this? Lego should endorse this. Lego should do this. Lego should make it official. Stop. We don't need Lego to make official things to enjoy them. If you want to make articulate Lego, '01 Toa Mata with mixing designs from the movie and the actual, do it. As we've shown, they're okay with it as long as you don't charge money for it. And if you don't have the skills to do it, find someone who does, because this community is insanely talented.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to do Lego slap their logo over someone else's work either.
Honestly, though. But people who only find value in Bionicle if Lego is actually doing it. There are people out there who they need that stamp of Lego approval. They need it, otherwise it's not. It's not good enough.
It's not real.
And
that's where we, in everything else, we talk so much about how people do cool things, and then some corporation comes and gobbles it up and says that it's theirs, and the poor creator got, just steamrolled, and he's not getting the credit he deserves, and we want that for Bionicle? Why? Stop. It's not necessary. Yes, Lego supports creators, and so should we. You want it, go get it. Just don't charge money for it. And if you do, don't mention Lego whatsoever.
There you go. Waco Doodle asks, would Bionicle characters be considered giants to Lego minifigures if they existed in the same world?
Yeah, at the same height proportion. Yeah, absolutely. 'Cause minifigures are friggin' tiny.
Not even that. If we scaled a minifig up to the height of your average human, Toa are still like 7.5 feet on average.
Yeah, they're about
Like
7 feet tall.
they big. They real tall.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. So we've gotten this.
Sean Pajit. Oh, sorry.
Go
first,
ahead.
first. Sean Pajit, how do you feel about David Tennant as Liwa?
That was my next. That was the one I was going to bring up. This time, so this was asked to us. He asked me last time. He's asking you guys this time.
I don't know, man. Could maybe work.
Jessica.
I'm gonna be real. LJ has had a negative effect on me, or a positive effect, depending on your perspective, because I can't really imagine what Liwa sounds like except for him.
That's like the first time I think anyone in TTV has said that. I'm very happy.
I haven't really ever given it any thought, other than I also hate the movie version.
Yeah, when I try to think of a voice, I think freaking LJ, or it's Mattel's voice. Not Leo, you know?
yeah, exactly.
Nice. There's
David Tennant for Leo. I don't know. David Tennant for Mattel. Yeah, sure.
There's one person I have said I'd be fine with being Liwa, if not me, and that is nuts. Spider Ham. What's his name?
Mr. Mc doesn't exist apparently.
Shoot, I don't know. John Mulaney. Yeah.
John Mulaney. He is the one person that I think would actually do a really good job. So if not me, then him absolutely.
That's funny, and I agree.
I mean, Spider Ham
all
is
right.
what sold me.
So, I think that might be it. BioTrek asks LJ, have you asked Craney if you can voice Liwa? I don't think LJ's even in the server yet.
I don't know if I'm even going to. I'm not joining the server for a while because I'm really busy right now, and it would be a distraction. So as far as that's concerned, I've already said I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate against voices, and that is very counterintuitive to what I would love to do. I would love it if there were voices and I was granted the opportunity to play Liwa in that. That would be a huge opportunity. That would honestly, I think, if I never officially played Liwa in anything LEGO ever made, I could die happy at least being Liwa in that. Absolutely, 100%. It'd be my magnum opus. However, there are two things. One, again, I'm advocating against voices. I don't think it would really... I think it would be cool to have, but Bionicle works well without voices, provided that you keep in tune with a lot of the other stuff. You know, a lot of the animations, like the Hordika animations or Legend Mata Nui. The other thing is, Craney was a part of BNG, Bionicle Next Generation. Bionicle Next Generation, as Meso and I have discussed in the past, really fell apart in large part because I kind of had a heavy hand in publicly calling them out. I mean, I absolutely did. I had a very large hand in calling them out publicly for their shortcomings.
Understatement of the century, Kini.
Kini, you were there too. Don't you even start.
Yeah, but I'll never say that I wasn't involved. You know.
So, that being the case, I never had any real interactions with Craney. Craney was always one of the people that was actually trying very hard to get things to succeed and really push the project to the next level, as has been aforementioned with the 2 leaders short. That being said, I was very critical of BNG. I am still critical of BNG. So if Craney was not a fan of that and wouldn't ever want to see me anywhere near the project, it would make absolute perfect, complete sense. And I wouldn't be in any position to question it whatsoever.
Listen, man, just get in the server. Just get in the server and talk. Maybe work the angle of toggleable voice acting, man. That's the compromise.
But here's the thing, though, and I mentioned this on Twitter, and I should elaborate eventually. But when it comes to, oh no.
Yeah, it's been mixed.
Yeah,
is an understatement.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Listen, I don't know.
Shout out to all the people. Shout out to all the people who like to talk about TTV as though we're not actually there and can read it.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. People smack talking us when you're in the voice call.
Oh, it's beautiful. Love
So,
it.
obviously enough, if Craney's open to a dialogue, I would love to talk to him. Even if he does hold any ill will about how the things with B&G went, I'm more than willing to own up to any of my mistakes. The way that I handled it, absolutely. We were all kids then, and even then, youth is not an excuse for bad behavior. That being said, I'm also not going to pester anyone about it. So, if I'm the right guy for a situation where that happens, wonderful, immensely grateful. We'll bend over backwards and do whatever needs to be done. If not, fair enough. Someone else is more appropriate in the eyes of the people running the game, and that's good. What I was saying, though, I mentioned on Twitter that the day that trailer came out, I got to see how the legacy of BNG has affected the Bionicle community landscape to that very day. In two very different
wild.
ways. Because Craney, regardless of how he felt about anything that was said against BNG, he listened to it. He did everything right. He did everything BNG did wrong, and he's reaping the benefits of that, and I'm so happy. He wasn't public about it. He had one teaser on August 10th for Bionicle Day on the Reddit, and that was it. Over 6 years. He kept it close to the chest, and he is reaping the benefits, the rewards of doing that. It was spectacular to see. Other projects that have BNG members in them right now, that very day I got to see how they are managing things, and it is exactly how BNG did that, and it is going to end the same way. And it's sad.
If you do not learn from your past, you're doomed to repeat it.
I mean, yeah, this
Old mantra.
Yeah.
whole project is just proof that learning from your mistakes gets you insane levels of hype when you actually, you know, put something out.
So,
It's great.
Yeah.
It's really commendable to see.
absolutely. So, yeah, that's kind of there's a little bit of a long answer to a short question, but that's where things stand.
For the record, if people want TLDR, I'm still down for voice acting. I just don't want it to get in the
didn't
way
ask
of
you.
production,
Okay.
and I want it to be a toggleable option. That's it.
Can we have a toggleable option for LJ's voice and only LJ's voice?
Oh my god.
Best meme of 2020 so far.
LJ cheat code. It's like the Bionicle
I forgot
Heroes
cheat codes were a thing. I would do that.
Dude, I miss cheat codes.
I would do that for free.
Why don't
You have to.
Well, I mean, yeah, I do everything for
Those are
free.
so fun,
So,
man.
no, that's a good point.
It's such a fun thing to have.
Lego
every
cheat codes
character.
were always the best.
I am Kapura.
All right.
I think
Let's
that's
go ahead and
everything.
begin wrapping this up.
Okay. What do we need to do to wrap this up? Well, first of all, thanking our guests, Kini, Var. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks
I'm
for the
sleepy.
invite, guys. Yeah, I'm with Var. I'm tired.
I hate podcasts. Why did I agree to be here?
Var.
Bro!
You didn't even agree to be here. You invaded.
The Var invasion.
It was fun. This is a cool time. It's
Awesome.
nice.
All right.
Stuff
Dolge,
again.
give us plugs.
All right. So this is a cork for a wine bottle, and this one is for the base of a sink. Okay, sorry, wrong plugs. So, in case this video gets copied, make sure to head on over to the TTV message boards at board.ttvchannel.com. Bunch of good stuff happening over there. Just follow the rules and be above the age of 13. And you can have a good time with everyone else. We're currently gearing up to host some canonization contests to canonize the visuals for characters we have seen but have never seen. Helrix 2 yet, Artaka, and the list goes on. So definitely go ahead and check that out. Also, if you want to join our Discord server and our Minecraft server, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/TTVchannel. Low as $1 a month, and you can join in on all of the fun, and I assure you it is fun. Additionally, our Twitter at the TTV channel, at Mesonak, and at the Eljay Johnson, JOHNSEN.
All right. Last comment, Dark Nova 3529. Meso needs to voice Liwa in his Monog voice.
No, that's the one. I do everything else except for
Mystery
Liwa.
King of Know Nothingness. That's me.
Real talk. My stance has
Ew.
officially changed. My stance on VA has officially changed. I want no VA because then that means there'll be LJ and Meso play.
Why are people saying Meso should voice Pohatu? There's only one Pohatu and it's Meerkat.
Yeah, no, it's hard to find.
If I
that
voice
out.
Pohatu, I'd just give him a country twang.
Yeah, I
Wow.
would too, like we originally had for Biocraft.
12-year-old Meso's come back.
No, I'm Pohatu.
12-year-old Meso has returned, but with a better microphone and a lower voice.
It was my middle name. I never told you because I'm a secretive guy.
That's not cool, Jimmy.
I am so uncomfortable right now.
Cue the music. All right. Thank you all for listening. I'm Meso.
I'm LJ.
And streaming to you from a golden beach. This was Nak and Jay. And Var and Kini.